face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I'm Frau Namak. We cover inspiring stories and key moments shaping Africa. We start with Algeria. Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune inaugurated a nearly 1,000-kilometer or 621 miles desert railway to transport iron ore from a giant mine, a project he called one of the biggest in the country's history. The line will bring iron ore from Gara, the Giblate deposit in the south, to the city of Béchar, located 950 kilometers north, to be taken to a steel production plant near Oran further north. The project is financed by the Algerian state and partly built by the Chinese consortium. During the inauguration, Tebboune described it as one of the largest strategic projects in the history of independent Algeria. This project aims to increase Algeria's iron ore extraction capacity as the country aspires to become one of Africa's leading steel producers. The iron ore deposit is also seen as a key driver of Algeria's economic diversification, as it seeks to reduce its reliance on hydrocarbons, according to experts. President Tebboune attended an inauguration ceremony in Béchar, welcoming the first passenger train from Tindouf in southern Algeria and sending towards the north a first charge of iron ore, according to footage broadcast on national television. The mine is expected to produce 4 million tons per year during the initial phase, with production projected to triple to 12 million tons per year by 2030, according to estimates by the state-owned Feral Group, which manages the site. It is then expected to reach 50 million tons per year in the long term, it said. The start of operation at the mine will allow Algeria to drastically reduce its iron ore import and save $1.2 billion per year. Africa must collectively move from being primarily a supplier of raw material to becoming a producer of high-value branded and finished coffee products, Ethiopia's State Minister of Agriculture, Meles Mekonnin said. As part of the Shared African Coffee Week, IACO holds its high-level policy forum and 7th ACRN Scientific Coffee Conference on 2 to 3 February 2026 in Addis Ababa, under the theme Advancing Climate Resilience and Transformation of the African Coffee Sector in Addis Ababa. The forum seeks to promote concrete and actionable solutions that respond to the structural and emerging challenges facing Africa's coffee industry. It is anchored in the Advancing Climate Resilience and Transformation of the African Coffee Sector program and is fully aligned with the IACO strategic mandate as a continental policy coordination body for the coffee sector. Speaking at the forum, State Minister Meles highlighted the efforts of Ethiopian government to transform coffee sector into its importance for economic growth. However, no country can achieve this sector transformation. He stressed Africa must collectively move from being primarily a supplier of raw materials to becoming a producer of high-value branded and finished coffee products. African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, offers a historic opportunity to develop regional value chains, expand intra-African trade, stimulate industrialization, and create quality jobs, particularly for the youth.
Africa must collectively move from being primarily a supplier of raw materials to becoming a producer of high-value, branded, and finished coffee products. In African Continental Free Trade Area offers a historic opportunity to develop regional value chains, expand intra-Africa trade, stimulate industrialization, and create quality jobs, particularly for youth. AfCFTA is not merely a trade arrangement. It is a strategic development instrument for the transformation of Africa's coffee economy.
Moreover, he added that climate resilience must be treated as a core political and economical priority, not a peripheral concept. Investment in climate-smart production systems, agroforestry, landscape restoration, early warning systems, and sustainable water and soil management are not optional. They are economical, rational, and physically prudent. Africa's coffee sector is open for business, but it calls for responsibility, long-term, and impact-driven investment. UNIDO representative and director of the sub-regional office in Ethiopia, Kargabo, Stephen Banius, said coffee is one of the world's most traded agricultural commodity, embodies both the promise and the challenges of this vision. He noted that coffee producers today face mounting pressures including climate change, price volatility, aging plantations and farming populations, as well as increasingly complex regulatory requirements that are profoundly reshaping the sector.
Value capture, local production, local processing remain core to UNIDO's work. We understand, of course, as UNIDO, that no single institution or government or company can address all of these challenges alone. They require collective action, strong partnerships, and innovative financing mechanisms capable of mobilizing both public and private resources.
He underlined that by strengthening resilience and enabling producing countries to capture greater value along the supply chain, the coffee sector can continue to support livelihoods, promote economic diversification, and drive sustainable growth.
Ethiopia's green legacy initiatives are restoring urban parks and expanding green spaces across our cities. Green spaces protect the environment and strengthen healthy, resilient communities.
Italia's ambassador to Ethiopia, Sam Fabrizi, said that coffee is far more than a commodity for both Ethiopia and Italy, describing it as an integral part of daily life and social tradition. He highlighted that deep cultural and economic ties between Italy and Ethiopia through coffee, emphasizing its role in shaping social rituals, heritage, and long-standing partnership in the sector. Ambassador emphasized that coffee is also a major global industry with nearly 3 billion cups consumed every day, making it one of the world's most important beverage sectors.
It is indeed also for me a great pleasure to be with you today, addressing an issue of coffee in a country that holds an unique and symbolic place in the history, not only in Ethiopia and Africa, but within the global coffee community. Ethiopia is the birthplace of a special type of coffee and also a living repository of biodiversity, knowledge and culture deeply intertwined with coffee conservation and production. And we also say that for Italy and Ethiopia, coffee is far more than a commodity. Is an integral part of our social fabric, our daily rituals. It's not a drink, maybe it's a coffeeology, and Buna is the first word I learned arriving here in Ethiopia.
Against this backdrop, he said Italy has supported Ethiopia's coffee sector for decades through development cooperation, technical assistance, research collaboration, and private sector engagement. Fabrizi said Italy has worked closely with Ethiopian institutions to improve agricultural practices, productivity, post-harvest processing, and quality, while strengthening institutional capacity alongside the entire coffee value chain, including forest coffee systems. In recent years, Italy has adopted a comprehensive value chain approach, supporting initiatives such as the establishment of the first comprehensive coffee training center in Addis Ababa, in collaboration with the Ethiopian Coffee and Tea Authority, UNIDO, and private partners. Access to finance remains a central pillar of Italy's engagement, he said, noting that Concessional loans have helped expand the financial services for farmers, cooperatives, processors and exporters, enabling investment, modernization and quality-oriented production. Looking ahead, the ambassador said Italy is preparing a multi-million euro program under the Mattei plan through the Italian Climate Fund to scale up support for Ethiopian coffee sector.
Access to finance remain a key point that help translate innovation into tangible impact, and Italy remain strongly committed to strengthening this dimension in partnership with Ethiopian financial institutions. That's why under the Mattei plan, and where we're looking ahead, Italy is preparing a significant scale-up of its financial support to the Ethiopian and regional sector. A program amounting to a multi-million euros program is currently under preparation through the Italian Climate Fund, managed by Cassa Depositi e Prestiti. I understand the delegates from Italy has traveled to Ethiopia. I see them smiling in the crowd, and they will give you a little bit more details about the project later on in this work.
He reaffirmed Italy's strong commitment to Ethiopia and Africa, stressing that the partnership is based on mutual respect, shared value, and a common vision for a competitive, inclusive, and climate-resilient coffee sector that benefits producers while delivering excellence to consumers. The second edition of the Tech Revolution Africa Summit in Lagos, Nigeria showcased Africa's innovations already making an impact, moving beyond bold promises to practical solutions. Founders, investors, and tech firms demonstrated products addressing real-world challenges from AI and data analytics to energy and digital access. Startups like Sabify, a Nigerian platform allowing users to share subscription services, highlighted efforts to improve affordability and digital inclusion. Founder Ladi Ogunsiye said the company aims to expand to 20 African countries within 5 years. Energy solutions were also featured. Eli Power presented a mobile power bank rental system designed to ease daily power challenges for users on the move. Data and AI solutions took center stage as the Well Liga Data, a global analytics firm, demonstrated how it transforms complex data into actionable insight for governments and corporations across 35 countries, including Africa. Organizers deemed the summit the big, bold step, but much of the momentum was on the exhibition floor, where startups showed that African-built technologies are already solving local problems across industries and borders. Moving to business news, in a major move aligning corporate expansion with national strategy, 3 subsidiaries of the Dangote Group have secured enhanced gas supply agreements with Nigerian National Petroleum Company, or NNPC units. The deal, announced at the launch of the Nigeria's pivotal Gas Master Plan 2026, signals a concerted push to harness gas for industrial growth and cleaner energy. Dangote Petroleum Refinery, Dangote Fertilizer Plant, and Dangote Cement PLC finalized the strengthening contracts with Nigerian Gas Marketing Limited and NNPC Gas Infrastructure Company in Abuja. While the specific volumes were not disclosed, the agreements are designed to underpin the conglomerate's significant operational scale and future growth. The signing coincided with the formal unveiling of Nigeria's Gas Master Plan 2026, a comprehensive roadmap to overhaul the nation's gas sector. Namibian President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah warned that global instability and the selective enforcement of international rules are increasingly shaping how sovereign states govern, as her administration pushes for faster execution for policy. Nandi-Ndaitwah made the remarks while officially opening the cabinet for the 2026 calendar year. She noted that the government are operating in a world marketed by shifting alliances, economic uncertainty, and decisions affecting sovereign nations being taken outside established multilateral frameworks. Amidst an evolving global order, Namibia's position remains anchored in respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, equality among states, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts through dialogue, diplomacy, and international law, said the president. She urged cabinet members to use time decisively and translate policy decisions into measurable results through discipline and result-based service delivery, and called for accelerated implementation of the 6th National Development Plan. She called for renewed efforts to raise performance levels and welcomed the rollout of a subsidized tertiary education funding model, noting that while challenges may arise, the system has generally been well received. Headlining on sports news, we move to Senegal. Motorcycle taxis known as locally as Jakarta competed in a race on the Dakar Baobab Rally circuit located in the Sindila district about 60 kilometers from Dakar. The race took place on a 2-kilometer track from Dakar Baobab circuit, presented as the first permanent circuit in the West African meeting international standards. Competitors riding small displacement motorcycles, mostly used for urban transport, battled for first place. The day began with a training session for participants focusing on track rules and safety. The drivers, mostly aged 18 to 30, experienced several crashes during the race, but no serious incidents were reported. The event, attended by a large crowd, offered a spectacular image, particularly during the maneuvers of the motorcyclist on a track lined with baobabs. In Senegal, these motorcycles used for a very large part, as taxis constitute a commonly used mode of transport in many cities, particularly where public transport networks remain underdeveloped. That's all for this hour. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye.